Hello and welcome once again to It's My YouTube, and I'll blog if I want to, the place where I can blog because of my damn YouTube channel. I don't care what you call it, Dale. Anyway, we are continuing with the build that I've got underway. And, okay, I normally wasn't expecting to have my microphone in the shot. Alright, so here we have, this is the face piece, which I decided to do that just so I could get some crap done out of the way. Put that there. Now, as you see here, I have the various sections, pre-cut and separated. This basically is what I normally do with all of my builds. Okay. This is what I normally do with all of my builds. After I get the actual unfold done and then edit in the print group and everything, and see what's going on. I usually label all of the different sections. Like I'll go in the Pepakura menu, and you have a check corresponding face feature. Okay, cool. I've already got that up. Okay, here you see this is the helmet that I'm working on. This is what I just got finished. Now, over on here, you have this right here, the check corresponding face. Now, what you can do with it, and what I frequently do, is I will go in and hit Control so you can select multiple pieces. And then I will go and hit change name. And then you see, and then hit OK. And then as you see here, it actually renames all of the parts that were in there with the proper thing. The little hashtag symbol or number sign is what makes it do all of that anyway. Like I said, I will not. I actually, with this one, I may end up actually keeping the names like that. But anyway, so now you see this is just how you do things. But then what I'll do is you see here on the print grid. And I will go and when you print out in Pepakura, it actually starts off with the last page and then does it, like that. But what I'll do is like when I'm going and selecting and say that I want to start with the cut left half here, I've got named, then I would go to the second sheet and I would cut this piece specifically out. And then, as you see here, all of the parts on this page are highlighted because they all go in that section. And then in here, you have these pieces that would go into it. And so I would then go and, well, just for the sake of after I go and select those particular pieces, then I would go in and just for the sake of argument, because I've already got that section done, I'd go and group them all together. Then I would go in and I would select all the ones from the top right half, and I would group all of those together. Then I would sit there and take all of the pieces from the back, which this is actually for the back here, and group that together. It's also not strictly just by the area. It's also like basically in the actual, like the amount that you're going to build at the one time. And so even though technically these actually go to that ridge that runs around the helmet, I'm actually doing that in with this group because of how I'm doing the build. This is actually one side of the face. This is the other side of the face. And then this is actually, this is the bottom perimeter of it. And then this is actually a brace piece that goes in that's actually removed either right before or right after the hardening section phase is done. And that helps. This particular piece here is, it's specifically designed to help the helmet keep shape while you're doing the hardening and all. Oh, and something I was going to show people before, but I couldn't find it. This is the Tron Legacy disc. This is a prototype that I've been screwing around with. These LEDs actually do not even have the wires on them. I actually clipped them off in the first place. And I'm trying to decide whether I'm just going to harden this and then do the repaint on it, just so that I at least have this thing done for my, for my armor. But eventually I actually am going to be doing another one that will actually be lit up. I will actually have the inner C-ring and the blade edge. And this actually, this is actually one full pattern. This is not a repeat of the other one. And it is pretty much about the most screen accurate thing I've actually seen so far. Like I said, I'm probably just going to end up hardening this one and then painting it and just kind of like cleaning it up a little bit, just to make the improvements. And then I've got ideas for how to actually do the light up and everything else. But yeah, these actually, or if I hadn't clipped the wires off of them, these are some very high intensity LEDs. They're like 10 millimeter. And if I remember correctly, they're all white, but then again, it doesn't matter because, like I said, I clipped the wires. But yeah, this actually, just as it is, well, before it got all dinged up and everything, there was actually a Clue cosplayer. He was doing one of the other characters from that. He actually said that he would be perfectly willing, because this thing is in fact actually screen accurate, size, everything else. He had one of the ones that they sell, the collector's things, that, I mean, like that big around. I mean, it is not nearly at the full size or anything else as the thing. They do have a good heft to them, and provided they could actually fit inside this, I would actually be very happy putting one inside just for the heft and whatever else. I may end up actually weighting this on top of putting the electronics and everything else in or whatever. This particular disc itself, though, is just going to remain just a showpiece. But I am going to clean it up and do the repaint and everything and just have something that I can fool around with. But yeah, this is the Tron Identity disc that I was working on that I actually am going to have to find some way to integrate into my current costume. And then somewhere around, I actually have the chest plate. I have decided that for this year, I am just going to go with the existing chest plate that I do have already. And then, that just shortens down the amount of work time and everything that I have to deal with at this point. And then I will actually make a better chest plate and everything along the way for next year with that one. Because this is going to be a continuing armor that every year I wear and make upgrades to and everything else until I actually have, like the end product for that armor. All right. A couple of questions that I've seen come up on the Pepper Kernel Library board as well as other groups is, how do you handle situations like this, in which it indicates to cut here, but it also, in the hardening and whatever else, it's like basically the only reason why you need to cut there is so that you can get that circle out. Like I said, normally I do use the scissors for everything. This is the time that I would actually bring out the craft blade. Make sure that you've got a nice small point blade on there. That really helps. You can do it with everything. Like I can't remember what the one is that I usually have on my blade that I finally switched out, but it looks like kind of like a shovel, sort of. But this is a situation that you really kind of want to have a fine point on there because it just kind of gives you a little bit easier. And then you just come in. And like I personally just go right along the line. I know some people who actually will go right in, but like I actually have the piece that's going to go there, which oh no, actually it does need to be smaller. Okay, something I was thinking because I know I've had other builds in which the piece that you take out actually is the same size as what's on top of the riser. But okay, that's going. All right. Now, you can't. You don't actually have to cut all the way through when you're doing this. I mean, it helps, but I actually like to just get a good, deep, strong groove, and so that way I can come in and so. Uh, all right. All right. Okay. Yeah. Because this piece actually goes in through. Make sure that. All right. Just look at the numbers along the outside. Make sure you look at the numbers on the tab and make sure you got it facing the right way. And so Okay. All right, so now we on that up. It's actually recommended you fold your tabs and everything before pulling off the paper, but with this one, it's like I kind of know where they're going to go anyway, and I can compensate if I end up overdoing it some. Okay. Hmm. Hey, hello, Diaxis. Hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry about the cock up I've made of this so far, but I promise it will actually come out a hell of a lot better. Yeah, sorry about the cock up I've made of it, but this is actually the main part of the helmet as well. And then that part that, that one thing you did for me there. So that's how that's going to end up, yeah, actually coming out. And then I may end up actually trimming off like this piece here and that there, so that way it lays a little bit more flat, and then figure out how to work around here. But eventually the upgrade is actually going to have the sound reactive LEDs and all that in there. And come to find out that it actually does. So far, I mean, it looks like it's going to work very well if I actually try to hinge it. Either way, it will actually definitely work for the base. Yeah. And then as I go along, I can make whatever modifications and stuff that I need to be able to get everything. Yeah, sorry I cocked it up as much as I have, but it's actually going pretty good. There's a couple things on there that could have actually been a little bit better, but I mean, like this piece here, this doesn't have it on the other side section, but it actually works out pretty good because it helps you direct which way the build's going to go. And then I like actually how you did this piece, in here, where it's like you basically just attach and then this just kind of goes right down on it, which makes that piece here a lot easier to attach too. So I prefer to build from the top down, but some of these actually did kind of work its way. It does actually, I see how you build, where you actually build from top to middle and then from bottom to middle, it seems, which actually works pretty well with that. But yeah, this is the ugly Yankee mug that's going to be behind that. Yeah. And then I actually especially like the brace piece that goes down, across the bottom, because that will really help keep the shape when I'm doing the hardening stage. Okay, so yeah. Okay, quick lineup. Let's see. Let's get this stuff lined up. Yeah, for the noobs who want to try to learn how to do the tab like that. Yeah, for the noobs who are having problems with the tabs, what I usually do is I take the first one, match it up to the line that you'll see, and then just fold it, bring it up as far as you can, pop it, and then just keep hitting it along the thing. And then you saw how I just rubbed it along the table. That just helps crease it. You know, you learn a lot of things as you go along, and just kind of I don't know why I don't know why I'm nodding at the monitor. I do that a lot myself, actually, when I'm watching various videos. I actually wish I could figure out how to do just the straight up chat thing on there. For some reason, it keeps telling me that it's inactive or whatever else, or I've tried to go to the actual YouTube page to watch, and I don't seem to get an actual like public, chat window come up on my, on my friggin' stream. Yeah, eventually I will actually work on like witty, eventually I'll work on like witty banter and, like stuff to talk about. But when I actually just kind of end up running my mouth unfocused, I end up devolving into a lot of political rants and things like that. Okay, Bridget, I'm actually doing a friggin' it's called the Ridge Mandalorian helmet. Let me actually just send something there. I'll show you here what it is that I'm actually doing. Yeah, this is the actual helmet that I'm doing. So far, I've actually gotten. Come on, dang it! There it goes. I hate when the slowdown that I get at times. And I've also gotten the side, the ear sections done, and I'm actually getting ready to start working on the cheek pieces, and then I've got this entire. I've actually got that entire section done. So now it's basically pretty much just these cheek pieces, the back piece, and this entire underpiece here. And then this is just the brace piece that's going to be removed when I get to the actual hardening section. Yeah, actually, friend of mine actually ended up making the pattern for me. Yeah, he was actually doing that for his own thing. The specific pattern that I'm working with is actually, other than the copy that he probably has himself anyway, is actually the only copy of this particular pattern that exists. He normally puts specific offsets and various things into his models, so that way you know for a fact that that's actually his model. He specially did this one for me because I like to have a completely symmetrical build. And so this specific pattern was actually custom made for me specifically, but he actually did release it onto the Peppa Girl Library's Facebook group, if I remember correctly. Or I know he's actually discussed it there anyway. But yeah, this is what I'm working on right now, is actually the either right or left cheek section. And then I just have that back plate, or the back part of the helmet to do. And ultimately, it's actually going to be, this is actually going to be what's sitting on it. Yeah, this is actually a Predator with the lower half of the Darth Vader. And then this is done because I want to have sound reactive LEDs going. So that way when I'm talking, it'll do kind of a Knight Rider effect within there. Probably going to have like some LEDs at the corner here, but for now, I'm actually just getting the base armor built. And then as I go along, I'll be making improvements to like the helmet, the chest plate, the various other parts of it, and go along from there. Because the entire suit's going to be an evolution over a couple of years. But yeah, eventually I need to actually work on how to discuss all the various steps as I'm going and everything else. But then again, the majority of the people who I actually talk to are the people that I get advice from. And so highly likely that the majority of people who view my build streams, which I will be doing on a more regular basis, I will be all the way up until September. I will be streaming more days than I won't be, because I'm actually going to be live streaming pretty much the entire build of my entire full armor. Yeah. Oh, and something in case I don't know if I mentioned this to Diaxis or not. This is the Tron Legacy disc that I did. I actually had the PDF pattern. I actually cut the wires off of the LEDs that are right there. This is just some, little knock around prototype. This is, in fact, actually screen accurate. I found out the sizing and everything else. I'm probably just going to harden this up and then paint out the details and everything else and just kind of get it going. So I just have something to carry around and actually have with my armor. But then by next year, I will actually have sound. I will actually have the sound, the light, everything done up the way that I want it to be. Because, like I said, the entire armor is not only a work in progress and an evolution. I'm combining as many different franchises of things that I like. Like this is going to be on from Tron. Eventually, I'm going to actually probably be carrying around the Legend of Zelda sword, maybe the shield. I haven't decided yet. I'm still trying to decide the specific legs that I'm going to go with. I'm really kind of liking the classic RoboCop legs, though. Because I kind of they're very good, easy legs to do, and but they look good. Because I'm actually the entire build altogether. Originally, I was just gonna just throw stuff together and not have a. I just found P666. Originally, I wasn't gonna have like an actual what it is. I was just going to make armor, but then I decided I'm going to go with a custom Darth Vader build. On the premise that that Stark Enterprises is actually the Empire and the Mandalorian's main defense contractor, which is why it is that I am using. Originally, I was going to build a different chest plate, but this is the chest plate that I'm going to be using once I get it hardened and cleaned up a little bit. It's the Heartbreaker chest plate. I have removed the tubes that go here and the tube pieces that go there and everything because I really just didn't like that. And it actually, with these areas open, I can actually do a little bit more with lighting effects and things like that. And so that's going to be, that cuts off several hours out of my build. And I'm probably going to be looking at, yeah, I don't know. Oh. Yeah, I actually have to find out any of the stuff. I mean, I know lightsabers. I know guys in armor working for the for the Empire. I really don't. I haven't really paid much attention to the games and the EU stuff, and but I mean, when I do find out about, I find it very fascinating. With all the different classes they've gone into for the stormtroopers, the temple guards, and apparently there's 5 or 6 different temple guard variations and stuff, or not the elite guards. And I still want to actually find out what the armor underneath, where you have the actual Imperial Guard. You have the actual Imperial Guard that wears the big red robes and the domey helmets. I want to see what the hell their armor is like up underneath all those robes. But yeah, let's see. Got that. Okay. But I've heard a lot about the different classes and everything from the games, and everybody's really. I've heard people are talking about the Star Wars, the Old Republic game, or Knights of the Old Republic, or something like that. And, I've seen the screenshots and whatever else, but I kind of like my. I really kind of like my Dust 514. I just a lot of the times that I want to do multiplayer games like that, I just want straight up pure combat. I really don't want to deal with the role play game aspects of it. And sometimes it's I'm really not much into the Star Wars games and stuff like that. It's there's all sorts of stuff you can do. But the type of gameplay that I do in multiplayer and the type of competition and combat I like, it just really does doing it in the Star Wars milieu just doesn't really fit how I like to play the online multiplayer stuff. I mean, it basically, if you have, pretty much, I mean, you can have power armor or whatever, but as long as, the weapons are pretty much, assault rifles, machine guns, I'm not really a big pistol guy. Uh, I do have like a bunch of tanks, which I need to actually restock my supplies. So I was playing for a couple hours, the other day, and I ended up going through the large bulk of my damn oh fuck, what you call it? I ended up going through the bulk of my tanks that I had in inventory because I kept getting my ass shot out from under me. And so I have to restock all my tanks. I have to restock a lot of my drop suits and everything else too because I was using like my really good ones, and it just kind of I was apparently I happened to just catch the server at the wrong time because I mean I kept getting put on teams that I'm watching our friggin' clone count just start dropping, and I'm watching like the other team. I mean, we ended up getting pwned like for a couple of hours straight. So I finally just said hell with it. Uh, I'm really kind of working right now on like Dead Space. I got frustrated. I completely deleted my game profile for Dead Space, and I'm going to start that over with. Uh, just finished up. Just finished up Resistance 2, and I keep going around in Infamous 2 and just trying to just kill random people or whatever else, because my problem was is I got my good karma like all the way up by the time I finished the game, and then come to find out that to be able to get both endings, you have to be evil. You have to actually get your karma into the evil side to be able to even select the second option for the end. So I've been going around for like 3 weeks now. It really is hard to get your karma bar to go into the evil on friggin' uh the Infamous games. I mean, you sit there and you could like drain people with like the power drain thing and suck their life out of them. You know, like 10, 11, 12 people, and it doesn't give you as much karma change as healing one or two people. Yep. Oh, and eventually I am going to be looking at how to build a vape unit into my helmet. Uh, because I wanted to originally do where it did like the Predator effect, and oh crap, where did that piece go? Oh, okay, no wonder I was looking at the wrong side. Where when the Predator took off the helmet, you had that vapor cloud release. And so I was gonna try to put a e-cigarette unit or something like that in there, just so that when I went to hit a hidden button, it would build up and shoot out the vapor cloud. And I really wasn't looking at making it so that I could actually vape while I was wearing the helmet. Uh, and then I realized that it's more of testing out a marketable product than it is for me actually, vaping while I'm wearing the helmet. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, here we have this, and then I'll actually be attaching everything. But yeah, I'll actually be attaching everything. Let's see, we have oh. Oh, okay. So yeah, that goes together there. I'll be doing the other section in a second here. And so that way, once these are put together, and then, well, it's actually the opposite each side, but basically what I'll be able to do is be able to, come in and attach on there and then attach on the side in one continuous, seam. Being able to plan out your builds and your sections and everything like that is very important, because you don't want to put yourself into a situation where you are trying to figure out how to get this and get get in here and do whatever else. Because there were a few pieces in here where, had I done in a certain way, I mean, like this seam that's buried up in here would have been, would have really kind of been a hell to deal with. But even more so than that, you have such as the ridge here. I mean, basically what you want to do is you want to build it you want to build the edges and close those up and then attach them to the main piece. You don't want to sit there and build the top and the bottom and then try to get the tabs folded in and everything else. It's just, it's hell to deal with the seams sometimes. Yeah, but if you plan everything out in the first place, you make your own life a hell of a lot easier. Also, by doing the seams and the sections and everything and planning them out better, you then you actually end up giving yourself a much better build to start off with. Basically, like with this, I got a couple areas that I'm going to have to be careful and kind of touch up a little bit. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a couple areas that, I'm going to have to touch up, and then during the hardening process, I know to take like the baby wipes and stuff like that, and put a couple of them, a little bit thicker in places to fill in some gaps, or I know to to not put so much glue on in another spot to even out something on the other side. Things like that, that you just, as you go along, you learn how to give yourself a good base build to begin with. And so that will be going on. That will be going on to there in a little bit. Okay. Hi, Candy. Hi, Luca. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Candy, if there's the Q&A thing, and actually, if you want to, I can actually send you the link to actually join in on the stream if you want to. So just text me or send me a Facebook message. I've got both open in the background. I can pay attention to if I need to. But if you want to, send me. I'll send you the link to join in if you want. But yeah, I'm doing this to be able to, so that people who need to learn more about Pepakura can actually see the process, not only to basically learn what to do, but just to learn everything that you're going to have to do and just how long it actually takes. Because, I mean, I've had people sit there and asking me if they can, how much I would charge them to do, one thing or another that I know damn good and well will take me, at least a month to do. And they're like, well, I need it in 2 weeks. It's like, now screw it. That's part of the reason why I haven't gotten any commissions done, is because I just haven't wanted to deal with the kind of crap that I've gotten from people trying to do commissions before. So I've been mostly just focused on doing this for fun. But I don't know whether or not the, let's see. I don't know whether or not the, because there's supposed to be like a public chat. And no, it doesn't do the actual public chat. Oh my God. I haven't even finished the video and I've already got the shampoo. Wow. Great video. I liked it. Oh my God. Now I see why it is I have to continuously approve their damn comment. Oh my God. How strong is it? By the way, I love actually looking at the suggested videos that I get on the side. It's really random crap. I'm actually waiting for when the for when I get the when I start getting like Sesame Street related suggested videos, because what I've been doing is I log my YouTube account in on the PlayStation 3, so that way Jacob can watch Sesame Street videos all day instead of SpongeBob. I mean, as it stands right now, I get like an ass load of like feminist diatribes and other stuff on there, because a lot of the videos that I watch myself, are like Thunderfoot and Sargon of Akkad and like several others. And so my my friggin' my YouTube suggestion thing, I mean, is like all over the place. I'm starting to get a lot more tech-oriented things. But yeah, if you actually go to the Google Plus event thing, that if you actually go to the Google Plus event link, then you actually will get Q&A thing where you can actually put in questions and stuff like that. But the whole point of this stream is for people who want to know about Pepakura and what is involved and how much effort it takes to actually build whatever. That's why I'm doing the live stream, is just so you can kind of see the amount of time and effort and energy it takes. So that way, when you get into this hobby, you know what it is that you're doing, you know what you're getting into, you know how to block out time or whatever else. And for those of you who are looking to commission a piece from somebody, you know damn good and well now you can realize why it is they tell you that, no, I can't do that in 2 weeks, and you want to sit there and talk shit about people online. They actually have this one thing that I want to get, but I'm not really sure it's worth the actual I'm not sure if it's actually worth the investment, but you have this the Cameo silhouette or something like that. And what this does is this thing not only prints, but it will actually cut the patterns for you. And I'm trying to find out whether the add-on that's available will actually, if it's just a straight up, plug and play situation. Because while having something that will not only print but also cut the patterns for me would save a great deal of time, but to set it up for the the Cameo silhouette thing, it takes like a while per sheet to set up for it. And when you're talking about having to deal with when you're talking about having to deal with like 12 to 15 sheets per print, it does kind of get a little bit to the point where you're wondering, am I actually saving any time here? And I know people are going to say, oh, but I don't have to spend X amount of time folding and whatever else and all. But what people also don't realize is that I don't print onto cardstock. This is actually a Crispix box. I print out everything on standard letter size printer paper, which I then cut out. I use a layer of spray adhesive to put it onto the damn to attach it to the cereal box. And then I cut everything out. So I'm having to do 2 different damn cuts anyway. But I've actually gotten pretty good at speeding up this process. So. Okay, good.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Mm. Mm. All right, this is my Father's Day mug. Yeah, my wife had it. My wife got it from, I think, Shutterfly. Yeah. Eventually, I'm gonna have to work out sponsorship deals and such. But yeah, it was. When our son was born, we ended up getting a gift certificate to, I can't remember, it was how much, which free or how much discount or whatever on Shutterfly. And so she decided that she was going to use it for Father's Day. I would use it to get something for her, actually. It's like, holy crap, I actually have a viewer. I'm wondering. Yeah, it's like, yeah, if you're watching on the actual YouTube page or whatever, I wonder whether or not the comments will actually come up as people are commenting, or what. But like, I'm actually surprised that I get viewers at all, to be honest. I mean, I didn't really see myself as
well, hell, that interesting, to be honest. Uh, it's just doing the live stream means that I can't lie to myself and say that I am working when I'm not or anything else like that. It's like this actually keeps me actually doing stuff. But not only that, but it also helps me actually document my own process. Uh, Eventually, I'm going to start refining my show's format. Which, by the way, if you haven't already looked at any of my old videos, I apologize in advance because I tend to get sidetracked by political rants and, well, hell, to be honest, a lot of things pissed me off at various points. Anyway, let me put this back onto the build area so people can follow what I'm doing. Whew, okay. Probably should have sized it up a little bit bigger, but it's actually get the work done. It's actually get the oh, don't worry, you can actually just watch the entire thing later. But yeah, I actually printed this out at the same size that you had, preset in the pattern already. And I probably should have sized it like maybe just a little bit, like probably really maybe like 1.5%, just to kind of make very sure about the length and all, but yeah, this actually came out pretty good. Probably won't be able to put any padding in it or anything else, but it's pretty lightweight, so not that big a deal. But yeah, probably I probably will be able to actually put like padding and stuff in. Oh, by the way, another tip just in general, when you're doing stuff, taking like actually cloth first aid tape is very good when you go just go over your seams and stuff, at least the major ones. Uh, like if I was doing this for a client, I would actually take first aid tape and go like from front to back and side to side, probably in about a 2.5 inch grid pattern. Or I would use wide first aid tape once I actually have the entire thing built, and just give it a coat of like cloth first aid tape. And that will make sure that everything stays together very well and all. And the cloth first aid tape on its own will actually help you hold the shape a good bit. But using the brace pieces and various other things that come with it are definitely recommended. But using the cloth first aid tape, I just don't have any right now. But like I said, if I was doing this for a client, then yeah, several rolls of cloth first aid tape would go into the deposit. And I would actually just do a layer of the cloth first aid tape inside. And then do the hardening and everything else and all. And cloth first aid tape is really good if you're doing fiberglass resin as well, because it sticks to it itself and you can get everything shaped or whatever, and then lay your resin down and go from there. So, but yeah, so far actually, coming out very good. And so now I just have to It's actually kind of funny. I was arguing with somebody in a thread on a YouTube video at one point. And I can't remember what the specific video it was or whatever else. It was some controversial special snowflake, whatever at all. And I was saying how I really felt about the whole topic in general that they were bringing up. And somebody sat there and said, "Oh, you're just saying this for attention or whatever else." And I'm like, dude, I have a YouTube channel that I use for my pathetic bids for affection. I'm saying what I got to say here because I actually mean it. So, yeah, you're witnessing my pathetic bid for attention because I sit there and I post out that, hey, I'm doing this live stream. I've got my YouTube or whatever else because, yeah, it is where I get my attention fix or whatever else. But then I'm surprised when I actually have anybody that actually ends up watching my stuff. I go and I check on one of my videos and find out, holy crap, I've got like a lot of thumbs up and I've even got like comments and stuff. And like I've got people watching my videos. And so it's always a surprise to me. because when I started doing my YouTube stuff, I figured that I was just always going to end up being, always be this, some obscure asshole spouting his mouth off, talking about whatever the hell that, I decided to waste bandwidth and fill up time with, and that every once in a while I might get somebody checking out my videos because they clicked on the wrong video trying to find a cat video. And then I'm actually finding out that I've actually got followers on Google Plus who actually pay attention to the crap that I say. People who actually look forward to my videos and have asked me why I haven't uploaded in a while and stuff. And it's like really weird. Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm. Actually, this is the one that I will be sticking with pretty much permanently, unless I find something like really much better. I'm actually going to be sticking with this same helmet, or at least the same pattern anyway. The only thing I can see myself upgrading with is probably either doing a 3D print of this, or I will eventually actually end up making a cast because I mean, I really like the way that this is. Uh, and then eventually I'll be adding like in-helmet display and things like that. But like, I really don't see myself doing whatever. The fact that I had finally gotten the previous one worked out. All right, cool. I know how to do the unfold. I just got to get to the point of fixing the tabs and everything. You end up coming out with one that actually works better for me. It's like, ah, crap. The fact that you actually released the new Mando helmets and right at the perfect timing to completely shoot out my previous one, and I realized that the new one you've done is much better suited. That's the one that annoys me.
Yeah. I'm actually what I really want to try to do. I mean, like doing the 3D print of it and everything. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting and all, but I'm really thinking about just doing a mother mold and then actually trying the polystyrene to the styrofoam, making the slush out of it with the acetone, and then I mean, because all I got to do is throw on a set of rubber gloves, but then take that polystyrene or styrofoam putty and then press it into the mother mold and build it up as a layer. Just because I mean, I know it'll take the detailing and everything else really well. And then once I've actually got that shell, then I could just pour in some smooth on or some whatever casting resin and just kind of build up the interior layers a little bit. But yeah, I've been also, as I can probably saw me do it a couple of times, as I've been going along, I've been trying to pull off the paper as I can. That just helps during my hardening stages and all. So I've just got, rather than trying to, crap. But yeah, it's like I'm eventually going to make upgrades to the helmet all along. And then every year, my entire build overall is just going to get better and better and better. I'm gonna like actually end up adding like light and sound effects over the course of the next year. Eventually, I'm gonna have the in-helmet display, mount the cameras and the body panels and such, and then I will use the initial armor that I built to make my mother molds, and then cast stronger and lighter armor, and then so that way I can also make better modular stuff. I do somewhere in my hard drive. I actually have a very detailed undersuit model from the Iron Man armor. So eventually, whatever armor I do with this, I'm actually right now using. I can't find it. It's actually like a set of black thermal underwear, for top and bottom, which because I'm not going to be wearing anything else. I mean, I'm going to be wearing just that. Then it'll be a little bit easier. I'll be able to deal the heat and whatever else and all. And then later on, once I've actually gotten the suit frame done, I'm actually thinking about making a Pepakura model of it. And the plan is to have one layer of the thing, like how a 3D model, it would be a very thin, hollow model, whatever else. Well, if you take, one layer of it, I'm thinking the inside layer of it being all contiguous. So all I have to do is put that onto my pattern and then fold that into the frame thing. Then that should work to be able to at least give me a basic bodysuit. And I'm actually going to talk to a couple of metal fabricators out where I live, and see if they can actually make the actual suit. And then I can attach magnets and whatever else and stuff. Okay, now I'm ending up in the position I didn't want to be in the first place, but
Yeah, I actually should have done the face thing and then just be able to attach up and across. Yeah, I should have been able, I should have actually done it so that way all I would have had to do was just up and then across. So I should have done the entire face plate as one thing, which is normally how I would, but I don't know why I do it this time. Hmm. Yeah, the whole process that I've been doing in Pepakura actually is I'm kind of putting myself in the mindset of being in a cave with a box of scraps. And while I know that, yes, I can go to a fabricator, have whatever else made and all, I want to try to put myself into the mindset of people who like have even less than I do to work with and coming up with different things so that way I can help them. You know, I mean, I've met people who, I mean, they have some serious skill. They just do not have even as limited as my supplies and equipment are. Like, they don't even have that. Like, they have a glue gun, but like, they don't have the budget to be able to have an underframe fabricated. Like, I could manage to put, probably put together what I need to have an underframe fabricated. And so, what I want to try to do is figure out how a underframe can actually be done through Pepakura. A lot of people think that you can't do it. And so also part of it is just a straight up ego challenge. Like, you're telling me I can't do an underframe Pepakura? Which my wife likes the fact that I am driven to do well, but sometimes it can get frustrating for her because I will get wrapped up in what I'm doing, to the point where I just kind of tune out the outside world. And so she will occasionally come in and bring me sandwiches and just tell me basically just to kind of take a break. And I come to find out I've been working for like 12 to 14 hours when at that point. So, yeah. I actually want to, at some point get a bunch of other people who do crafts and stuff on there and see if they, like, I've talked to some people who do Pepakura, and, they kind of get the same like sort of high that runners get. You know, they call it runner's high. And like how some people, when they're doing crafts, they just get into the zone and they just keep going or whatever else. They call it Pepper's high. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, too. What I've tried to explain to people who do the 3D printing is that I have just as much respect for somebody who makes their file and prints it and does all the different stuff and everything. But what frustrates me and a lot of other people is you have these fucknuts who they go to Thingiverse or anywhere else. They get a free file and an idiot-proof printer, and they load it up and they hit a button, and then they get bored and, oh, look what I made. And it's like, you didn't do the file. You didn't even do cleanup work on it. You broke off the supports and took a picture, and you're talking about what you made. You know, that's why, like, when I do stuff like this, I don't say, oh, look at what I made. I say, look at what I built. You know, even though, yes, you actually did this pattern and everything else, you made the pattern. I built this helmet. And see, I am very clear. You know, I'm very clear about how, you know, if you actually open up a 3D modeling program and you go and you create the model, and then you go and you send it over to, you know, you do all the stuff to get it ready for 3D printing, and then you push the button to start the print, and you actually make sure it's doing good or whatever else, then yeah, from start to finish, you could say, look at what I made. But these fucknuts expect to be held in the same regard as a digital artist or somebody like me who actually builds the hell that they're doing. You know, it's one thing to use 3D printing and then, you know, even printing out a full Iron Man suit. But then, you know, you actually do where you do the finish work and get these surfacing, you know, right. You rig up the lights. You actually you actually build the gear assemblies, and you actually put in effort and work on your piece. But but to be expected to be held in the same regard as those of us who actually put in effort on something, it's like, no. I even tell people when they sit there and they look at my stuff and they're like, oh my God, you're awesome or whatever else. And I'm like, yeah, but still, the guys who make these files and make these patterns and everything else are the reason why my stuff comes out as good as it does. Because they make patterns that you can actually follow, that actually are coherent and everything. And yeah, I was actually expecting it to be a little bit rounder than it is, but that's not bad. Hold on a second. Hey, Mom. I'm actually in the middle of a live stream. What's up? Okay. Well, I mean, I'm documenting my build process. Yeah, I'll actually make sure I start sending you the links to them, because I'm documenting the whole build process of my entire armor. They took it out? They took it out? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, because I'm actually about to wrap this up anyway. I mean, I'll call you back in like the next 5-10 minutes. All right. Love you. Bye. Yeah, that was my mom, actually. But yeah. So, what do you think? Did I actually at least not cock it up that bad? Yeah, this would actually have blood in it as well, but I was smart enough to not use my my X-Acto blade. But yeah, that was my mom. I'm actually going to have to wrap this up in a second. But yeah, so far the only thing I have left to do is to put on the perimeter edge and the brace piece, so that way when it's time to actually do the hardening, it stays in shape. But I am going to have to compensate for certain bits on it, but yeah, I'm going to have to compensate for certain things and actually figure out how to get the alignment right. But that's actually not bad. And then I will be removing the visor, part of it. So that way while I'm wearing the one, I can actually see and everything. But yeah, this actually came out a little bit better than I was actually expecting it to be. And then later on, I'll be able to very easily add some sort of hinging system and everything. So, all right. Well, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up for now, so that way I can take care of a few things I got to go around here. I'm still going to decide on what the next part of the armor is going to be, but then I will actually start that within the next 2 days. Hopefully tomorrow. But anyway, thank you very much, and have a nice day.